He was made world famous in the first ever Krusty Demons video, now shooting his 5th video in all. Seth Enslow joining me on 2Xtremes Beyond Sport. And Seth, welcome to the show. You just got back from Australia. What were you doing over there?
We were actually shooting for Krusty Demons of Dirt Part 5.
Now, you look at the first one, you know, and when I watched that years ago, I thought, this guy's nuts. And I'm amazed that you're just able to sit here and pain-free. Is it pain-free?
Well, like Metzger said, you know, your injuries start catching up with you eventually. And I feel a little old sometimes, a little stiff waking up in the morning after a big jump or whatever, you know, after the many back compressions and things like that. But it's all good, you know, you always come back around. It's amazing how good your body heals itself up after you hurt it. Especially
at 24 years old, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing this at 35, you know, more power to you.
Right.
I wanted to ask you, because this is something that I think is a little bit different between you and Mike. Mike is doing the Triple Crown. He's into that. He's got his routine down. He's got his tricks down. You're a little bit opposite, aren't you, Seth? You're the guy that goes out for the big jumps. I mean, you want to get in the Guinness Book of World Records for what, the biggest jump? Like chasing Evel Knievel type stuff?
Yeah, there's a distance record right now actually set by Doug Danger that I'm going to try to beat this year. This year at the Triple Crowns, I started working with Johnny Airtime using his takeoff ramp, jumping some semis and kegs of beer one jump, some Harleys one jump, things like that. And just kind of promoting the whole Triple Crown and the Four Leaf Entertainment's event, you know, the free ride contest. So that was good, and I like doing that. So I'm going to kind of focus on that this year, setting some records, doing some promotional jumps at, you know, different other kind of races, things like that, just whatever, and go that way.
Has doing videos been your ticket over the last, you know, 5-6 years? Has that been what's kept you going?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, even after Krusty 1 was released, I was still doing construction, just, you know, 19-year-old kid just trying to get by and just loved to ride my bike. And it blew up, you know, it took off, things went good, and by the time Krusty 2 had been out for 6 months or so, I was able just to make a living riding my dirt bike. So
your thoughts about that is, you sit back and like I asked Matt Hoffman once about him riding. He said, you know, I got knocked out once, and I sat there and I watched Dennis McCoy ride up and down the ramp, and he goes, that's the kind of stuff we're doing, we're crazy. I mean, when you watch your videos, do you go, that's just, you know, it takes a lot of gonads to do what I just did. I mean, do you ever get that feeling watching yourself on TV?
I don't know about that, if I ever feel that way, but like, I definitely laugh at when I watch back at the first Krusty Demons of Dirt, because to me, like, I was still a little bit new. Like Mike and a lot of these guys have been riding since they were 3 years old. I didn't get my first bike till I was 16 years old, so I was kind of on a late start charge attitude, you know, and old machinery, the whole deal. And the first couple of Krusty Demons of Dirt were pretty much crash videos, and I was a star for the crashes. So it's kind of funny to look back and watch those now a few years later, because I get a good laugh out of them.
Yeah. Your thoughts about what you're doing now? I mean, you went to Australia. You've been there a couple times, obviously, you told me about.
Yeah.
Fun going to different places, doing what you do, finding new terrain?
Oh yeah, I'm totally stoked on the way everything's gone. I've been to Brazil, South Africa, went to Europe last year. Got to see a lot of places, meet a lot of different people. It's a good deal, good experience.
Does you get the feeling like you're a rock star sometimes when you go places? I mean, thousands of people there watching you, waiting for you, anticipating what you're going to do next?
Sometimes when you go to other countries, some of the autograph signings, it's pretty amazing. You know, I showed up in Australia in December, and I showed up at the shop, and Seth lives here, you know, is on the front window, and there's just people, hundreds and hundreds of people everywhere, and it's like, that's a pretty good feeling, you know, to know that all those people are that stoked on motorcycles and riding, and just the whole movement in general, I guess.
You talk about that movement. I mean, you're one of the guys that put it on the map, Seth Enslow. When we come back, we'll talk about his future and what he expects to do in the sport of this free riding. More after this.
Next time on 2Xtremes Beyond Sport, we'll visit with April Lawyer, a two-sport superstar, and also Biker Sherlock, who has racked up the gold in the luge event at the X Games. Plus, ahead in the coming weeks here on 2Xtremes Beyond Sport, we will catch up with Tony Hawk. Without question, Tony is the most famous skateboarder in the world. He'll come by to talk about his latest birdhouse video, The End. And he'll also let us know what's in store for him in the near future regarding contest appearances. If that's not enough, well hey, we're okay with that because we have much more to come, including Mike Rooftop Escamilla. Mike is known for his innovative bike street tricks and style. Also stopping by is the most successful skateboarder in the history of the Vans Triple Crown of skateboarding, and that is Brazilian Bob Burnquist. In addition, the golden boy of SoCal will cruise in. His name is Rat Salt, and he's coming off X Games double gold in luge mass and super mass. He can hardly wait for the next event. To find out what's really happening with the best alternative athletes in the world, make sure to watch 2Xtremes Beyond Sport with Paul Higgins.